this time, you'll stand. Reed Richardson will provide the invocation.
Would you pray with me? Lord, we thank you for the many blessings we have in our community. Help us to learn to appreciate and understand one another and build stronger relationships and a stronger community together. During this season of Thanksgiving, we express our gratitude for all the men and women who serve this city in various capacities. We pray for our mayor, our city council, city attorney, city clerk, department heads, and other employees of this city. Lord, grant our city leaders wisdom as they make decisions on sometimes difficult and controversial issues. We pray that those on all sides of the issues be treated with dignity and respect. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please face the flag and pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I will ask the city clerk to form roll call.
Miss Caruth. I know she's here.
She's here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Mr. Tripp.
Here.
Mr. Olson.
Here.
Mr. Harrell.
Here.
Mr. Westcott.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Keller.
Here.
Mayor Harris. Mr.
Here.
Smith.
Present.
And myself. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Council, in your package, you do have the minutes from the October 12th, 2021, October 21st, 2021, and October 27th, 2021 council meetings. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve.
I do have a motion. A second? I have a second from Mr. Brown. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, Ms. Johnson, will you provide us the financial report?
General fund revenues for October were $1,560,144, which is 11.7% above budget. Tax receipts were $971,569. Franchise fees and permits were $395,283. Tax revenue comparison. Year-to-date for city taxes, sales taxes, we've received $4,275,542. During the same time period last year, we had received $3,826,787. So we have an increase over prior year for city sales tax of 12%. On the county level, we've received $4,984,540 compared to the same period last year, where we received $4,417,072. So county is over prior year by 13%. When you compare where we are year-to-date to budget, the city taxes are ahead by 11% and county taxes ahead by 15%. October expenditures for the general fund were $1,014,454, which is 6.7% below budget. $2,356,709 more received than spent. Street fund revenues for October were $990,243. New sales tax was $591,929. State turnback and ad valorem taxes were $185,221. There was schoolhouse trail grant, we received $135,640. Half-cent road sales tax, we received $62,248. Interest was $14,620. Street cutting permits was $200, and miscellaneous was $385. Street operating revenue is 0.15% below year-to-date projections. October operations expenditures were $145,412. Capital spending was $9,248 for a mower and a man basket attachment. Half-cent sales tax was $163,764, which was related to Schoolhouse Trail Phase 1. Sales tax spending of $512,267 for 4th and Cleveland drainage, overlay, Ward 3 and 4 sidewalks, Corps of Engineer project, downtown drainage improvements, and drainage maintenance. October revenues for economic development was $86,585. New sales tax was $84,591, and interest was $2,024. October expenditures were $44,011. Wi-Fi for city parks and city buildings was $42,049, and equipment for the new RPD vehicles was $1,962. Balance of the various economic development funds as of October 31st, 2021, the 2003 fund was $1,534,215.50. The 2007 fund was $1,019,948.49. The 2014 fund was $744,658.50, and the 2021 fund is now $686,822.45. The economic development funds total is $3,985,644.94. October revenues for capital assets was $589,303. We received airport taxiway B grant funds of $588,988 and interest of $315. October expenditures were $643,034. The taxiway B rehab expenses were $553,419. The James School Park Restaurant Pavilion was $80,714, and Hickey Pool Engineering was $8,900. The 2021 1-cent sales tax. For the street fund, we've received $4,808,009, none of which have been spent. For RPD capital, we've received $686,768. We spent $210,312, so we have a balance of $474,456. The parks have received $686,758. We've spent $78,288, so it's a balance of $608,471. The Economic Development Fund has received $686,822, and nothing has been spent. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We have no mayor's report tonight. Tonight, we have departmental report from Mr. Thomas, Parks and Rec.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for letting me be here tonight. I just want to report for our 2021 year. The Parks and Rec has had a really busy year this year. We've done a lot of stuff. I would just want to start off by thanking my staff and all my employees and all the volunteers who helped to keep our parks clean this year, kept them mowed, did all the repairs, helped with a little bit of everything from Christmas to Easter to a little bit of everything. We did everything this year. I think that really our parks this year probably look better than they have in years past. And I know we still have improvements to do, and we're moving forward on those improvements in a positive way. And I just wanted to let y'all know and thank y'all for supporting us as we do our job to keep our parks good for the citizens of Russellville. We've also had a lot of great events this year. We had Balloon Fest, which was a 3-day event. It was really huge, lots of people there, big crowds. If you missed the carvers, the professional carvers were there from all over the United States. That was a really great show. We also had a great show for the 4th of July downtown this past year. We plan on doing that again this coming year, along with the Russellville Glow this Christmas here in a couple weeks. We had our fishing derbies, we had our swim meets, we had our normal stuff. But this year I just want to touch on some of our bigger projects that we did. James Park. If you haven't been to James School Park here lately, there's really been a change over there. The bathrooms and the new pavilion, they're open to the public. We're going to be able to open these bathrooms, keep them open year-round. They have a new chaseway in them with a heater in them, so those bathrooms will be open. Before, they were never able to be open during the winter because there was no way to heat them. If you haven't driven by there this week, these pictures were taken of the basketball courts that got paved a couple weeks ago and the bleachers were built. This past week, they actually put up all the basketball goals, so they're installed, ready to go. Next will be the fencing, a little bit of dirt work, and then will come the painting. And that project will pretty much be complete, and you'll have brand new basketball courts over there. And as you can see in those pictures, it's going to look totally different over there, and it'll really look different when the schoolhouse trail comes through there in the next phase. The next one I got there is the schoolhouse trail, which is right over by the middle school. It runs from 4th Street all the way over through Disc Golf to Muskogee. These pictures were taken last week or the week before. Since then, they have striped the trail. They've gotten all the lighting up. They've done all the crosswalks in the streets. All we have left on that project is the flashing cross signals and getting the electric hooked up to the lights, which should be here in the next couple of weeks, and we should be able to have a ribbon cutting for that trail system. I went by there this afternoon, and there were already several people walking on it this afternoon when I went by there before I come over here to this meeting. Another project we did was the Inglewood Trail. This was done through our 1-cent sales tax and some donations. As you can see, it's complete right now. It's right off the other side of Inglewood. One side's the wide sidewalks. The crossing flashers are installed, as you can see there on the top picture. Where the I Heart Russellville rock is, that is kind of like a little staging area or a resting area. You can sit on those rocks and rest. There's a bike rack there. I went by there this afternoon. There were several bicycles on it this afternoon, so it's being used. So we got lots of trails going on right now. We also have our new boat dock out at the ski area. This is on the north side of the lake. This is one that the ski club uses to stage off of and to pull their boats up to. They also have another dock, but pretty much the guys on the left there, Paul Jackson and his crew from the Russellville Ski Club, helped to build this dock, so we didn't have any labor cost. The only cost we had was buying the floats and a little bit of lumber. So, and they did the rest. They did all the labor, put the dock in, installed it and everything. Hopefully during the winter, this winter, we're going to try to do OETA the same way and do a double dock. This is just a single dock, and we're going to try to do OETA and have a double dock there. Hickey Park. If you haven't been by Hickey Park here lately, the bottom picture there is where we took down the fence and kind of opened the park up. It looks really great. Those are our new backstops and our score booths that we did at the beginning of the year. Also in this park, we put new scoreboards in right before the season started. So that was a big facelift to Hickey Park. Infields are looking a whole lot better there, and just by having those nettings, it just changes the whole atmosphere out there of that ballpark. All these projects I'm talking about, we couldn't have done a lot of these without our grants and donations and our 1-cent sales tax that we have for our portion for the Parks Department. Nearly every one of these projects were funded either by a grant, a donation, or that sales tax. Like James Park, part of it was done with sales tax, part of it was done with donations. ConAgra, Blackstone, Morgan Barrett and Associate, Mobley, and Bowden Construction, they've all had a little bit of hand in out there. And they've donated all that labor and all that material that you see out there, and the rest of it was paid for with our Great Strides grant and our sales tax. Schoolhouse Trail, I just found out this week, we did apply for $500,000. We got $250,000, so I just found that out this week. So the next phase of that will be coming hopefully here pretty soon. We're still working on a little bit, critiquing on the trail plan there. But other than that, you can see our all-inclusive playground grant we've applied for. About 99% sure we are going to get that. We haven't been officially told that yet, but It should be coming here, hopefully in December. They should let us know for sure. As I wrap up, I wanted to thank Leadership Russellville this year. Their project this year for us, I didn't get a picture of it, but their project was they lit 2 of our playgrounds with lighting. Pleasant View Park didn't have any lighting on it, and Shiloh Park didn't have any lighting on the playground. And both of those are lit up now, and it's just about like it's daytime out there at night because of the LED lights. The one at Pleasant View, they even lit the batting cage out. So that's a big improvement. Just wanted to thank them and all their help. Last but not least, I just want to plug the Christmas Parade. The Christmas Parade's 2 weeks. It's on December the 2nd at 6:30 here in Russellville. If you want to volunteer to help, you can volunteer to help, or just come out and watch it. It's going to be great. We've already got over 70 entries in it. We plan on having upwards of 100, because normally the last week is when the most entries come in. But right now we're doing it online, and we've got 70 entries already. And then I just want to plug the Downtown Glow. It'll be the next weekend, December the 10th on that Friday night. So we've got 2 big weekends in a row. Any questions that you can think of for me?
Mr. Thomas, quick question.
Yes, sir.
Somebody, and the mayor may have asked you this already, but horses, are we horse-friendly in the Christmas parade?
Yes, we are horse
Good
friendly
deal.
in the Christmas parade.
Thank you.
Yes, I got a question earlier this week that said that we weren't friendly to horses in our parade, and so
We've had horses in our parade every year since I've done it, so I can't remember a year not having horses.
that's good news. One other thing, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the Inglewood Trail, didn't Denali contribute quite a bit of money to that trail?
Yes, that was one of the donations. They donated $19,000.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure
yeah.
we may have missed
Yes.
someone. I just want to make sure we recognize those.
Right,
who
yeah, I probably
contributed.
didn't get everybody. We've had so many donations this year. Denali donated that, and then part of our 1-cent sales tax was used to fund part of that.
Any other questions for Mr. Thomas?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Personnel Committee, Mr. Harrell, any reports?
No report tonight.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Mr. Westcott.
Yes, sir. We absolutely have some reports tonight. Item number 1, and going just on your full council agenda here, beginning with item number 1, is an appropriation, 1 and 2. Appropriation request from the general fund year-end carry-forward balance. The sum of $25,200 to be used to provide a new truck for code enforcement, and 2 is the very same thing, same amount for animal control. And we present items number 1 and 2 as a motion to adopt.
I do have a motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Items number 3 and 3A. 3 is consideration of a resolution that would provide for the adoption of the general fund revenue and expense budget for the city of Russellville for the 12 months beginning January 1, 2022. And 3A is consideration of a resolution that would provide for the adoption of a cost of living adjustment for all city employees. And we present items 3 and 3A as a motion to adopt.
I have a motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Items number 4 and 4A. Number 4 is consideration of a resolution that would provide for the adoption of the Street Fund Administration Revenue and Expense Budget for the City of Russellville for the year 2022. And 4A is consideration of a resolution that would provide for the adoption of the amended city salary plan to reflect a cost of living adjustment for all city employees. And we present 4 and 4A as a motion to adopt.
Thank you for that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5 is consideration for reimbursement of the expenses for the Arkansas Valley Alliance for Economic Development in the amount of $12,205.86. This is for the month of September, and we present that as a motion to adopt.
Okay, I have a motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
From our meeting this evening, items number 1, 1A, and 2. Number 1 is consideration of a resolution that would adopt an authorized premium pay for all municipal employees from the American Rescue Plan. 1A is the appropriation from the Federal Stimulus Fund reserves, the amount of $319,481.69 to be used for that. That would provide $3 an hour for 560 hours of full-time employment, 225 hours for part-time. Number 2 is an appropriation from the year-end carry-forward balance, the sum of $76,348.33 to complete all of that. We present items 1, 1A, and 2 as a motion to adopt.
Thank you for that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 3 is consideration for reimbursement of the Arkansas Valley Alliance expenses for the month of October in the amount of $12,769.52, and we present item number 3 as a motion to adopt.
I have a motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the sale of personal property by auction with Gov Deals, and we present item number 4 as a motion to adopt.
I do have a motion, and you all have been presented with the resolution by the city clerk. Any discussion?
Mayor, yes, I have a question. If I remember right, we partnered with another community close by or something to donate or give or something, some of this equipment or equipment similar that's not on this list. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, and I think there was a discussion about checking with some other people also. Ms. Johnson, you said something about that. Was there a discussion about the Boys Groves Club or any other municipalities in one of those meetings that we were going to check with or something like that?
I don't, to my knowledge, we have not checked with any other organizations.
Okay, all right. I think we should do that, even if we, however we need to proceed, we need to be sure that we do give them that discretion, give them that choice if any of this is of benefit to them. And so however that needs to happen, I'd just like to see
Mr.
that.
Smith, if this resolution is passed, would we still have the option to donate any of the equipment on the list? If
You can still remove it and
bring a resolution back to the council? Okay. Does that suffice, Mr. Tripp?
Yes, thank you. If you just, Mayor, I would just ask if you don't care to verify that we do that checking to see if it can be of benefit to any of those groups.
Okay, I have a motion, and we've had discussion. Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5 is an appropriation request from the general fund year-end carry-forward balance, the sum of $20,928 to be used to replace emergency lighting inverter and install a maintenance bypass switch for the aquatic center. And we
Thank you for
present
that.
item number 5 as a motion to adopt.
Thank you for that motion. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Items number 6 and 7. Number 6 is an appropriation request from the 2021 Federal Stimulus Fund reserves, the amount of $50,647.62 to be used for funding premium pay for uniform personnel of the police and fire departments. Number 7 is an appropriation request from the general fund year-end carry forward balance, the sum of $7,680.12 to complete that. And we present items number 6 and 7 as a motion to adopt.
I have a motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration to receive a grant for the airport. We present item number 8 as a motion to adopt.
Thank you for that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, that's the last on our agenda. I yield the floor back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Westcott. Okay, moving forward with unfinished old business. There is consideration of an ordinance rezoning certain realty from R2 to R3 located in the 2600 block of West 12th Street in the city of Russellville. This is the second reading. What is the desire of the council?
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the second of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
An ordinance rezoning certain realty in the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, will rezone property at 2604 West 12th Street from R2 to R3 as further described in the attachments labeled Exhibits A, B, and the legal description labeled as Exhibit C.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Moving on to item number 1 in your new business. Item number 1 has been performed on Monday, so do we need a motion to remove this item, or?
It's done.
It's
so
done?
it's-
Okay.
yeah.
So let's just X that out, and we'll move on to item number 2. Item number 2 is a public hearing. Let me get to the right place in my book here. Okay, so item number 2 is a public hearing on the abandoning of an easement between Lot 9, Phase 2, and Lot 17, Phase 3 of the Center Edition located at 1301 Venus Drive. So at this time, I will open up public hearing. If anyone wants to comment? Hearing no comment, I will close the public hearing at this time and resume the council meeting, and we will consider item 2A. Item 2A is the consideration of the same ordinance. What is the desire of the council?
Mayor, I move that we dispense with the reading requirement. Read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Okay, I do have a motion to suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title only with short explanation. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Brown. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning all of an easement between Lot 9, Phase 2, and Lot 17, Phase 3 of the Center Edition located at 1301 Venus Drive to the city of Russellville, Polk County, Arkansas, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would vacate the easement on the described description as further shown on the plat as Exhibit A.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Moving on to item number 3, which is a public hearing on an ordinance vacating and abandoning a portion of East 4th Street, the right-of-way between Lot 7 to 12, Block 25, and Lot 2, Block 38, in the Pointer Edition of the City of Russellville. So at this time, I'll open up public hearing. Anyone here to discuss this particular ordinance? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing and move on to item 3A on said ordinance. What is the desire of the council?
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning a portion of East 4th Street right-of-way between Lot 7 to Lot 12, Block 25, and Lot 2, Block 38, Pointer Edition, City of Russellville, Polk County, Arkansas, for other purposes. This ordinance would vacate the portion of East 4th Street at the locations before described as further shown in the exhibits attached with this ordinance that are A and B.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Moving on to item number 4, which is to open up a public hearing on an ordinance vacating and abandoning an alley in Block 11, Lots 6 through 9 of the Harris Agricultural School Edition of Russellville in Polk County, Arkansas. This time, I will open up a public hearing. Anyone here to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and move on to item 4A. What is the desire of the council on item 4A?
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Brown. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning an alley in Block 11 along Lots 6 through 9 of the Harris Agricultural School Edition, City of Russellville, Polk County, Arkansas, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would vacate the alley in Block 11 as aforementioned described, location as further shown in the aerials that are labeled attached with this ordinance as Exhibits A and B.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Item number 5, which is another public hearing on an ordinance vacating and abandoning 15 feet on each side of South Greenwich Avenue between East 5th Street and East 6th Street in the city of Russellville of Polk County. So at this time, I'll open the public meeting. Anyone here to discuss this ordinance? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Move to item 5A, which is consideration of this ordinance. What is the desire of the council?
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Second.
I have a second for Mr. Brown. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning 15 feet on each side of South Greenwich Avenue between East 5th Street and East 6th Street in the city of Russellville, Polk County, Arkansas. For the purposes, this ordinance, if passed, would vacate the 15 feet on either side of South Greenwich and the aforedescribed locations as further shown in the aerials that are attached with this ordinance and labeled Exhibits A and B.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. At this time, we'll move to item 6, which is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to write a letter of intent to purpose to the Arkansas Department of Transportation that the city be considered in a partnership project improvement in certain parts of State Highway 331. What is the desire of the council?
Motion to approve.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second from
Mr. Westcott.
Mr. Westcott. Discussion.
Mayor, just to add a little context to this, so the public knows what we're attempting to do is this would be to partner with the Highway Department in a joint venture, joint funding to look at potentially adding an overpass on Elmira. And is there anything additional besides that, Mayor? Is that?
We would actually widen Elmira,
okay.
and then we would also improve the intersection of Highway 64 in Elmira.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Tripp. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, consideration of a resolution granting a special use permit to allow operation of a cryptocurrency Bitcoin mining operation in 3600 block of East 6th Street and for other purposes.
Mayor,
Do I have a motion from the council?
Motion to approve.
Mayor, I move that we deny this request.
I have a motion to deny and a second. Discussion.
I'm a little skeptical myself on I got online and began to read about the mining of this, and I'm really concerned about, I'm not saying that I'm 100% against it, but I would like to look and see where this goes with noise, because as I understand, and the more I've read on it, it could be, I don't understand the cooling towers for these computers and stuff, whatever, I would like to know however many cooling towers there's gonna be and the decimals.
I was going to say, Mr. Garza, I think, spoke with them today, and they're maybe fine-tuning, switching gears, have some options, so. I'd like to
Mr.
hear-
Garza did sign up to speak. Mr. Garza, would you like to approach the council?
He's not been here for a while. For the record, David Garza with Barrett and Associates. This happens to be our client that we're representing. We went through the planning commission, and I know that the biggest concern is the noise, is what we're hearing. And when you do go online, you are going to find some complaints in several places. Tennessee, I think, is one of the largest one. I think Sarah's talked to them. I looked at the article and read it and looked at the plan that they had. There was no fencing. There was no screening whatsoever. I think they are working on that now. But one of the things that that we are looking at, we did talk to the manufacturer in Canada that makes the unit that they're placing out there, and they gave us some decimal levels for a 20-foot unit. These are 40-foot units. And they said that what they can do is they can also put a baffle on it, because what it is, it's the fans that are making the noise. It's the exhaust fans. And so they can put a baffle to direct the sound down towards the ground. One of the other things we did that we put on the plan was that we were putting a fence with the slats to help also break up some of the noise. When we were talking to the planning commission, we had the plan. The initial plan, large-scale plan, was to put the units on the north side of the 10 acres. Because of the concern of the neighbors, we have moved it completely to the south end now.
Go ahead, Sean.
I've got a quick question. You
Yes.
say units, how many units are we talking about that's going to be installed?
There's 13 on the plan. They're starting with 3. They're gonna start with 3 and see what happens.
You said it went from 20 to 40. What, on the sound decimal, what are we talking about as far as the units that they're looking at putting in? What's their sound decimal?
Sure. This is new to me. And so I've been trying to do as much research as I can as well. The company, his name is Eric, they're in Canada. They were talking about, I asked them for some sound decimal levels, for these machines. And their production manager did a takeoff of the operational of the 20-foot unit. And what they had at 10 feet, which is, you're right up close to it, it's 83 decibels. At 30, it was 78. At 60, it was 75. At 90, it's down to 70. And then at 120, it was 66 decibels. And I started doing some research at decimal levels. And when you're looking at 66, well, the refrigerator is 50. I think, Sarah, didn't you go out there, did some levels? I think they came up with an average of 55. It's currently.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, it is 51.6. In the afternoon, it tops out.
It's on 6th Street, East 6th Street.
4.8 decibel levels currently.
On 6th Street.
And that is for what the location that this is going in?
Yes.
Have
Yes.
we ever looked at like Tyson to see what the sound decimal is at that? Or
pretty high.
how far are these units going to be from the residents as far on the other side of the road? How many feet are we talking? Do you know, Ms. Jondal?
The original plan showed that the houses would be, or the units would be 150 feet south of the property line. The revised plan, I did not look at how far the distance was going to be, but he did send in a revised plan today showing that they were moving that to the south of the property. So it's going to be,
This is 700 feet there, so it would take about 250 off.
so approximately
600 feet.
500 feet to the south of that. You do have a couple houses to the east of this property as well. And so the revised plan that they submitted does have a earthen berm with holly bushes on the north side and on the east side.
One other thing on this, how many people are going to be working in this facility at any given time? Do we know that? One person?
There's only one employee that will be checking on the facility.
And that's it?
Yes, sir.
They're supposed to promote industry.
Mr. Smith, if I may, I've got a question or two for you. On a special use permit, are we allowed to, or can we put stipulations on that?
So stipulation means conditions?
Yes.
Yes.
And then they become pertinent and they stay with the life of the special use permit?
They stay with the location.
Okay. So in theory, could we establish a decibel level threshold for the perimeter of that property?
You could, I guess it gets into how's that gonna be enforced, but yes, legislatively, yes, you could do that.
And that way, it's up to them whether or not to proceed with our acceptable input, if you will, or our condition. We're not denying it, we're approving it with a condition where we're looking out for our neighbors, our industrial counterparts, et cetera.
Yes, but again, it gets down into enforcement once you put that condition there.
So what I would like to do is make a motion to amend that motion to table this.
And I'll give you some more
Okay,
information.
I have a motion to table. Do I have a second?
Point of order, we've
I have a
got a
second
motion on
from
the
Mr.
floor.
Harris.
We have a motion on the floor already.
Yes, we have a motion to amend.
And no, he had a motion to deny, and now there's
There's another motion,
to amend.
yes,
To table.
And
What's the
then-
amendment?
to table.
To table.
So there is a motion to table then, not a motion to amend?
No, the higher priority is the motion to table, so it will take precedence in voting first. Should it fail, then you go back to the motion to amend.
Okay, so I do have a motion to table from Mr. Tripp, and I have a second. And so we'll have discussion on the motion to table.
I think that I do think we need to table this. I think we need to get some more information on it. We have some information about what a 20-foot one is, but going to 40-foot, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to double. It could just add 50% to it. It could add 200% to it. It could be exponential in the amount of sound that comes out of it. In talking to Ms. John Dahl, she said that there was some money in some professional services for her department, and that could be used to potentially reach out to an acoustic engineer that could get some more information on the decibel level. And I would think that if we table it, that would be the route that we would need to go, so we could get someone with some, professional knowledge to be able to come in and advise us on something like this, since it is so new.
I don't disagree with Mr. Keller, but I look at it a little differently. Is that burden on us, or is that burden on the applicant? So that's just, I don't disagree that we need somebody's opinion, or we need information on it, but I'm not sure it's at our expense.
I see what you're saying.
The question would be, do we want to rely on the applicant to provide us the information that we desire, or would we want to go out and make sure that what we get is independent? So we'll have that discussion.
I see what you're saying on that, and I do understand that to a certain extent. I would almost be though, if the applicant is paying for the professional service to come out, the applicant will choose the professional to come out. The applicant will be paying the professional to come out. And so the professional could feel some sort of financial obligation to come out with a report that could be more favorable than an otherwise neutral arbiter. And I feel like if we have funds in professional services to be able to do that, then that would be the exact point of having those funds, so that we would be able to contract, with the city, we're not here to say we don't want a Bitcoin mine. We're not here to say that we do want a Bitcoin mine. We're here to say we want to make the best decision possible. And if we can use city funds to ensure that we're getting a neutral arbiter on this to give us neutral information without any possibility of bias, I think that would be the best way to go.
Okay, yes, sir, Mr.
Mr. Garza, can you come back next month or next available time with some more information on, you said you're doing some research currently, a little more research, some options to limit sound?
Yeah, we're currently looking at also at barrier walls, like what they have on the interstate for subdivisions. In many cities, I think Conway has some. I've run in through many of them around the Nashville area, and I've worked with those, and they seem to. So that's an option as well. And then look at the height, but then you do the calculations. Of course, we are using the hollies as well, the larger hollies. They grow to 25 to 30 feet in height, and they bush out, and they're very hardy. So for this area, they'll work well. They don't need any water, much water at all. I've had some at my house forever.
Well, my primary concern is the residents, but secondary, it's the, by pushing it back, Ms. John, you said 500 feet. There's some existing industrial manufacturing partners there that have employees coming and going, and they sit outside. So it's not just the residents. Those are my primary concern, but that's why I'm looking at it entire perimeter, not just one side or the other.
Mayor, easy question. There's a motion on the floor to table. Are we limiting our questions about whether or not we should table, or do we have the flexibility to talk about whatever?
You have the flexibility, Mr. Westcott, to ask anything
Okay.
you'd like.
Mr. Garza, would you refresh my memory? What is your involvement in this particular request?
We're just the civil engineer that we're providing the plan, the site plan.
Okay, you work for Barrett and Associates?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, now, the reason I'm asking this, it has been submitted by Barrett and Associates on behalf of the Alliance for Economic Development. To your knowledge, of all the people who have recommended it this far, up to and including the Planning Commission, to your knowledge, do anyone involved in this process so far live near that address?
I have no idea.
Again, to my knowledge, there is none. There may be, but I'm not aware of anybody who has been involved in this process, nor is involved in this process now, that lives anywhere near this location. So we're asked to approve something that will impact the lives of those residents from now until the time they either pass away or sell their property out of frustration. And I hope that we move very, very, very cautiously should we be interested in approving this resolution.
Now, we have sent notices out, and I have talked to two of the residents. They called me, and we discussed it.
And Ms. John Dahl did forward an email today to the council. I don't know if you had a chance to see it or not, from a resident in the area. Mr. Garza, you did ask for time to speak, and you were speaking, and you got a lot of questions, so I want to make sure you have provided all the information that you intended to provide to the council this evening. So
Yeah,
I'll
I
give you
mean,
the floor
we're-
for a few minutes
it's-
before we get back into discussion.
It's a new thing to me as well. The only thing that I have to rely on are the two units that were present, already there from, I think, 2017 when they went in. We looked back. I asked the staff to look back and see if there were any complaints from those two units. So far, we haven't found anything, have we? Yeah. And those have no shielding whatsoever. Of course, you go out there, they're completely open. So that was kind of
Are they the same size as what's being proposed?
no, they're the 20-footers, but at least it gave us something, to compare with, because they were present and they were operational for, I think, a year and a half. And so without having nothing, that was better. Well, at least we had something. So we were looking at that to see, okay, how did they react? How did that function with the residents out there? And the units, since we moved them south now to the southern part, they're either equal to or a little bit further south than those two units. But without having nothing at all, we were glad at least we had these two units that we could look at.
Ms. John Dahl,
Anything else? Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead,
was
sir.
going to ask a question. If those have been here since 2017, why are we doing a permit now?
That's a different group.
That's a different group, and we've been trying to research how they actually ended up being there. We don't have a permit on those. I do know that there were applications that went through somehow based on information that we've been able to gather, but unfortunately, we have not been able to track down any of the files on that to see how that was. But that is actually on the other side of the Entergy substation, so it's not is part of this development at all.
Okay, any other discussion? I think the questions that the council asked this evening are wise questions. We certainly don't want to approve something and then in a few months have citizens knocking at our door complaining about something we can't do anything about at the time. So at this point, we've had discussion and we have a motion to table. All in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to item number 8. Consideration of an ordinance to compel attendance of council meetings to the regular city council meetings, prescribing a penalty and for other matters.
Mayor, I move that we table item number 8.
I have a motion to table. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. A discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, the final item on our agenda tonight, consideration of an ordinance to establish a public and private street renaming process and criteria for the city of Russellville. What is the desire of the council?
Mayor, there's been some questions raised that might be easier addressed at a more relaxed setting about number 9. I move that we table item number 9.
I have a motion to table. So I have a second. I have a second from Mr. Tripp. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else for the good of council this evening?
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.